All right, so we're dividing rationals. So if you're going to divide rationals, you multiply by the reciprocal. That means you just flip the second one over, right? And then we're doing the same process as multiplying. So that's the big change here, which really is not that big of a change. So now we're doing the same process over again. So now it becomes multiplication, and it becomes 8q to the fifth over 35 p squared q squared. Okay, so now we're just doing the same process over again, and I am looking to simplify before I multiply. If 5 goes away, that becomes 7. So I can cross here, make this a 2, make that a 1. Okay, so now I can just do my numbers. So there's no numbers up here. This is going to be pq to the 6th. Numerator. Denominator, let's see, we're going to have 14. And we're going to have p to the 5th q squared. And now I just simplify. So I'm left with p. The q cancels out, makes me q to the 4th. Goes away in the denominator over 14, p to the 5th. All right. So number 2, we need to go ahead and flip this around, and then we'll factor. So I'm factor out the denominator of 4. In the denominator, I'm factoring out a 4. So x minus 2. And now we're going to change this to multiplication, and I'm going to factor at the same time. That's going to be a 2 times a 3, so it's x plus 3, x minus 2. So that flips over, becomes up there. We'll factor out a 2x when I take the numerator and factor that. So that's going to be x plus 3. Okay, and looking at this, I have x minus 2's. They can go away. X plus 3's. They can go away. Okay, and then this becomes a 5. This goes away. So now I'm left with 1 over 4x. Scroll down. Factoring out or factoring this numerator, I have a 2a squared. And then what's left is a minus 6. Okay, denominator. That's going to be a minus 6, a plus 2. All right, we're multiplying that times. This needs to flip over, so this trinomial goes on top. So that's going to be a minus 3 minus 5. And now in our denominator, let's see, we're going to factor out an 8a squared. So an 8a squared comes out, and that's going to leave me with a 3 minus a. Okay, as soon as I see this, I got to start thinking, oh, I can factor out and change that around to a negative, right? Okay, so that's going to mean these two cancel, because I can see that, because I saw that already, right? So let's see, what can we cancel out? An a minus 6 here, a minus 6 there. Okay, this becomes a 4, because the a squares go away. So it becomes a 4. I'll write my 4 down there. So this becomes, let's make this a negative 4, and we'll cancel that out. And cancel that one out. And now, with everything canceled out, I don't see anything else I can cancel out, so I can write my answer. So what I have is negative 4a minus 5 Okay, so what I have left is an a minus 5 in the numerator, a minus 5, and in the denominator I have a negative 4, a plus 2. And that will be the final answer. All right, so we're trying to get all fancy here. Just be careful with your signs. So you just want to be careful when you divide this, all right, or multiply this. So I'm going to go from left to right with this. So this is standing alone separately because this whole thing isn't in parentheses. So there's not dividing by this whole thing, just dividing by this and then multiplying the whole thing by this. So this is just going to become 1 over. So let's rewrite the whole thing first so you can see. And this becomes 1 over 4k plus 1. Let's factor up here as I go. So what I get is a 4k plus 1 and a 4k minus 1. And I have a k plus 3 down here. Now I could shoot all the way across and cancel out. So that cancels that. This cancels the plus 1. Right there, it leaves me with a k in the denominator and 1. So let's go cross multiply the numerator. So it's 1 times 4k minus 1. And the denominator is just k. Okay.